Okay, tubers, on the advice of I guess my mentor Bobby, he called me and after he saw my video and told me that putting the door on the back of the drum is not a good idea because all the heat is going to be at the other end of this. It's going to be back there. All that heat's going to be coming up that stack in the back, and it's going to be drawn to that back where the lid would be if I did it this way. So he said that the gasket which looks like this. This gasket would fail after a period of time on the lid, which is at the back. So he says the best way to do this, and he's had experience with a smoke-filled greenhouse, and that is a bad thing. The best way to do it is to get a drum. And he also said that you need the lid with the bung hole for the return air instead of trying to cut a hole, because it's imperative that that's be airtight, because you don't want any air coming from within the greenhouse. You want the air coming from outside of the greenhouse, because if you don't, it's going to be drawing the air from your greenhouse, and then there's going to be a vacuum, so it's going to pull air from outside. In every crack in your greenhouse is going to have air coming through it. So anywhere where there's an opening, you're going to have plants that aren't going to be able to grow because they're going to be just too cold. So I did find, after searching all day today, I found a lid. These are not easy to find these days. Everything's plastic. The drums itself, I found quite a few of those, and I showed you that before, but finding ones with these steel lids and a bung hole is not easy. That said, I'm going to go ahead and trace this out, and I want to make sure everybody knows we're not going to trace out and cut this area right here, because we don't need this. We're not using this little vent here. All the air is going to be coming from here, so I'm not even going to cut it. I'm just going to trace the inside of the this door, put it up here as high as I can get it against that one, and just kind of trace it out. And I will be removing that other video so that nobody makes this mistake, because I sure don't want to lead anyone wrong. But like I said, this is the first time I've ever done this, so just bear with me and we'll learn together. Alright, well, I've got I think this is a 7/16 bit that's big enough to get my saw blade in for my jigsaw. I'm going to drill one hole to get it so I can get it started. I think it'll be easier to put the ring on. Alright, I got that done. Now I'm just going to mark my holes for the bolts. I gotta drill a hole big enough for these in each one of those. Mark those. I believe a 1/4 inch drill bit will do this. 1/4 inch. And my arm going in and out of here, I don't want to get cut. I'm going to kind of file this off smooth. Looks like it's gonna work. Okay, I don't know if you can see a whole lot of difference, but I cleaned this up real good. I took some metal sandpaper and sanded it all down, wiped it down. I'm going to try and put a coat of heat resistant paint on it before I put the rest of it together. I do want to let you know though, when Bobby called, he stressed the fact that this thing has to be airtight, and he also stressed how hot it actually gets. I bought 2 thermometers to go with this, one on each drum, the heat exchange drum and this one. I may not put it on this one because apparently Bobby melted one very similar to it on the burn barrel, so I am going to at least put one on the heat exchange. May put one on each side just to see, you know, how hot it gets on each side, but I've already bought them. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing painted and put the door on it, and I'll cut the hole in the top and get the legs on there shortly. Okay, tubers, I have painted the lid, and now I'm going to cut the opening in the top for the flue. Actually, it's the exhaust vent into the that'll go into the heat exchange barrel. This will be the bottom barrel, obviously. I did get it sanded off, the ring as well. The ring has been sanded and painted. You won't be able to see it, but I don't know if you can see it or not. No, it is hanging over there. And if you see how messy my garage is because we are packed up and ready to move. We are packing everything up, sticking it out here for our loading truck. So anyway, so forgive me for how this looks. I want this stove firebox complete by the time I get out there, so that when I put the greenhouse frame together, I can heat it almost immediately. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get it set up for the cutting the hole, the exhaust vent. Okay, tubers, I've taken the legs off of the old drum over there, and I've just laid them on here, kind of measured it out to make it even. On your typical drum, there is a seam where they have welded the drum together and sealed it up. I'm putting that, I may get something on this too, I'm actually putting that on the bottom. Hopefully most of the coals and the heat will rise and it'll stay off of that. I don't know, but I'm also using it as a guide to make sure these legs are straight. I have each one touching it on one side, and I've measured each side at 3 inches from the bottom of the rim. So now I'm just going to mark them, drill them, and mount them. All right. Okay, I'm going to try something here. Almost forgot about it. My dad taught this to me years ago. If you can take a nail, because the drill tends to ride a little bit off center when you're you know, trying to drill on something that's not flat. So you can take a nail and put a little hole or dent in the center of your mark, and it should stay pretty straight. Let's see if that does any better. Okay. I'm tired of wrestling with that. Alright, now we're going to cut the hole for the exhaust on the rear side over there. And to do that, I'm going to find center and place this bad boy right on it. Eleven and a half is center of the bottom. So I've got this square. That's center right there. I'm going to line those bolt holes up with that. Get it flush. Alright, I don't know if you see what I did there. I marked the inside of this with a couple of marks, and I know that this is almost exact. This is a cottage cheese lid. The exact diameter as the bottom, but you want it a little bit bigger than this so that this damper opens and closes without any obstruction. So I'm going to take this and use this as my key. There you go. Can you see that? Yeah. Use my little nail. Find it. Let's use this. Big bit, maybe for the 7/16 bit, so I can get the drill blade in there, or the saw blade in there. Oh. Well, I cut the hole for the damper, and just like I did the other one, and I gotta still have to put a gasket in here, and I'm only gonna put a couple screws just to kind of hold it in place for now. And I'll put the door on. I'm waiting for my gasket to come in from where I ordered it online, and it should be here Friday or Saturday. So I'm gonna put this together, and I'll be back to where we were before I had to change my plans because I cut the door in the wrong end. So anyway, I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, tubers, I am back where we finished off before I had to change direction from that design to this design. And Bobby, I do want to thank you for speaking up and saving me from making a mistake that may have cost me a lot of work and a lot of plants. So I just had this mounted temporarily. I have not put my gasket on there or on here yet, or for that matter I didn't put it on underneath the lid. It's sitting over there for that, and I'm gonna have to go buy another one. I wasn't thinking, I thought 84 inches, but it's not quite 84 inches. That's a shorter rope than I thought. But I got to get another one for the top barrel, and the gasket that I've got coming for the door, and the I guess the damper, the flue, the exhaust vents on both barrels, that's coming. So once it gets here, I'll finish putting this rascal together. God bless. Go play in some dirt. Try to get you a clean drum. These are pretty clean. These were silicone drums. They're still got a lot of, they still had some silicone in them, and so it's like a oily, dirty that I feel today. So I'm playing in some oily dirt. God bless. We'll see you next time.